Meet Will and Tom, two seemingly ordinary men, cursed with a gift of vast knowledge that is forever expanding. Possessing incredible insight with unparalleled skills and expertise. Let us join them as they embark on a journey to quench their thirst for the truth while answering the questions to life's most intriguing mysteries. Let us open our minds and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is Will Stark.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is Will Stark.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Thomas Case.
This is William Stark.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Tom Case.
This is William Stark.
Mr. William.
Yes.
So, I know that we kind of talked about this a little bit before, and it was very... It sparked inspiration in me, and I really wanted I really wanted to go further in depth. So obviously we saved this for the podcast. Mm-hmm. But this question is, what if you had to relive one day over and over? What day would you choose? Now, let me just give a little bit of parameters here. So Kronos, the Greek king of the Titans and god of time, appears before you and condemns you to live one day from your past over and over for an unknown amount of time. During this time, you will never age. If you die, the day will restart. The day starts at 12:01 a.m. and will restart after 12 a.m. You can change outcomes and events in the course of this day. Essentially, it's Groundhog's Day rules.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the movie Groundhog Day, but we've thrown in Greek mythology for some reason.
Yeah, so I wanted to put in that little
the goal
flair.
Isn't to have a perfect day like Groundhog Day. I'm just literally at the whim of this deity.
Yeah, because that's the reason why.
Tough.
Yeah, it's not... something that like, oh, I'm trying to learn a lesson here and I need to...
But the deity did confirm that, like, after the allotted whatever time it is...
that he picks, that you don't know what it is.
I'll return to my normal time.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you want to go first or am I going first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
There was... Because I know when we first thought of this question, the first day that came into my mind, and I think it was in 2019... Mm-hmm. And I think it was in June. I wish I could remember the exact day, but I can't. But there was I took a vacation, and me and my wife and her brother, my brusband, in-law, which is his husband, right? Uh-huh. We all went to Vegas, and it was just one of those like perfect vacations where you knew going there you're going to have fun, but then you just end up having way more fun than you thought you were going to have.
Okay.
Because like when we went there, we got to go eat at this awesome steak restaurant. We had other good food, just like, like walking up and down the strip, you find like food places. We had a fun time gambling. I won some money like on the craps machine and on some slots, which I normally don't play, and I normally lose money on slots.
Sure. My
wife won money that time when we went up there on slots. We booked ourselves in one of the cabana poolside cabanas, and it was just an awesome experience. Like the pool that we were at, they had these drinks. Like, I don't know if how long it's been since you've been to Disneyland. I assume it's probably been a while.
I haven't been to Disneyland since my early 20s.
Okay, but do you remember when you went there? Do you remember the Dole Whip drink?
What?
The Dole Whip, like it was a Dole pineapple ice cream and then Dole pineapple juice.
No,
you've never. Oh
no, I hate pineapples.
You do?
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know you hated pineapples.
Yeah, I can't
my
stand
God.
Pineapples or pineapple flavored anything.
For those who are listening who love pineapples, and for those who probably been to Disneyland, you probably know of the Dole Whip drink, and it is one of the most refreshing drinks to have during this, especially when it's hot during the summertime.
Unless you're me.
Yeah, unless you're William and you just have to drink warm, lukewarm water. No,
I hate warm water.
I'm just kidding. But So anyways, to other people, it's very delicious, right? And this particular pool had an alcoholic drink that was basically that drink, but it just had, I think it was Malibu rum in it. And it tasted so good. And normally when you order food from these places, the food's okay. But this one actually had really good food. Like, we were just so surprised at everything there. You know what I mean? Like, we were expecting okay, and we got great. You know what I mean?
So, yeah,
like,
everything worked out perfectly.
Yeah, everything worked out perfectly. So if I had to choose one, I would relive that. And the reason being is because, just like we said, we don't know how long we're going to have to relive it. If it's a very long time, no matter what you pick, you're going to end up getting tired of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Especially if you just repeated the same things you did over.
Right.
But because you can, you can change the outcome and events of that day, I feel like being in Vegas, I can try and do everything I can from that day.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, so at least, I could give myself the best chance of not being bored, for the longest period of time.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
I can understand the reasons behind that, and you're not necessarily wrong to a certain degree, except for the fact that, like, you will eventually run out of things to do no matter how long.
Yeah.
But, like, one of the things that stresses me out about this question, and I'll go with your scenario, is like, well, what are you going to do on those days where you don't want to do anything, that you're just tired and want to sleep all day? How do you explain that to your wife who, like, is on vacation and, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you're right. There may be days where you're just like, I'm tired of this. I just don't want to do anything. I don't want to even get out of the hotel room bed.
Yeah.
And the problem is, I'm just going to have to know and keep in my head that, like, okay, she's going to be mad at me, but at the end of this day, it's just going to reset. Next day, she's not mad at me again.
Yeah, but does it not give you anxiety that, especially this being, now we've brought Greek mythology into it. If I was Kronos, I would make sure to wait till you did the worst shit possible on your day, and then I would make it so it doesn't reset. You know what I mean?
Well, okay, like, but you're not gonna. But he brings you back to where you. This is now. He appears to you now.
Yeah, but okay, because in Groundhog Day, like, the way he ends his day, that becomes the permanent truth of his history.
Was it that? Oh, yeah, it was.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is a little different. Yeah, okay, this one wouldn't.
So we've been put in, like, a pocket dimension where, like, none of the people around us are even real, because none of this, like, we're essentially in a simulation.
Yeah, I guess it would almost be like a simulation.
Okay.
I guess
now there's no stakes.
Yeah. Okay, if you want, then I guess from that point forward, you're right, because, like, usually Greek gods want to, like, torment you or somehow.
Assholes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, we'll change the parameters to that. Like, but that is the gamble. You just don't know. You know what I mean?
You just don't know.
But I mean, at that point,
you have a really upset wife.
Yeah. At the end of this. At that point, though, I feel like, let's say he did do that. Let's say, like, I was like, no, babe, I'm going to sleep. And, she's like, why? What are you talking? Like, we're here, whatever, da-da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? And then Kronos just decides to snap his finger and be like, fuck you, Tom.
Yeah.
Like,
gotcha.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I guess that's the gamble where I'd be like,
right.
I guess I'm finally out of this hell of repeating this day over and over.
Of course there's going to be the relief of you got the hell out of
so
there.
I'll just have to have a mad wife for a while, and then,
I'll never understand why you kind of just were not yourself on that one vacation.
Day. I know,
That's
right?
hilarious.
Like, that would be the only thing.
Yeah, it's just like, you did pick a good location in a lot of regards, because there's a lot of different types of quote unquote entertainment and stuff you can do and sights you can see, and, like, money is kind of not an object, because I imagine you have a credit card, right? Well, since the day resets every day, you can just max it out whenever you want, and it's fine, because it means nothing, right?
Yeah.
Except for when Kronos snaps his fingers and now you fucking maxed out all your credit cards.
that would really suck. I'd be God damn it.
But besides that, it's a pretty solid location, and like we said, like, no matter what, after a certain period of time, being stuck in any day of any choice is gonna get old.
Can anybody hear me? Please hear me. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? If you can hear me, this is Fritz Frivolous. I need your help. I'm stuck. Somehow stuck inside the minds of Will and Tom. I need to escape. Please support them and their podcast. You can go to patreon.com/dudecouldyouimagine or leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Distract them long enough for me to break free. You can even leave a like, comment, or subscribe. Again, don't forget about me, Fritz Frivolous.
Plus, you know what? Now that you mentioned the whole money thing, I was just thinking about something. So every day it resets, right? So that means everything gets repeated in the same way unless I somehow make a direct influence on it. Right?
Right. Yes.
So that means that I could technically play one of any kind of the games, these gambling, you know what I mean? And like just watch and remember like, oh, okay, the first 3 rolls of this dice are this. I'll just bet high and win. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. You just got to make sure you get to the table at the exact same
moment.
time.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure like with enough time, you will hone in and be able to game in a system. Yeah.
I wonder, you know what? And I know one of these, I know one of the days that I'll go through, I would try that and probably win the most money like anyone has ever seen win in the casino would probably think I'm cheating and throw me out or something.
Yeah, definitely. Banned for life. Banned for life for sure.
That would suck.
But yeah, you could definitely like, I mean, with enough time and testing of all the machines at different times and whatnot, specifically, I mean, if you witness someone win a jackpot, you can make sure to be the one there instead of them. That's right. Yeah. I mean, theoretically, that might not work for
I wonder
reasons,
how that,
but either way, like with enough experimentation, you probably hone it in so that you make sure every day at 1:21 p.m. you're on this machine and you pull the lever and you win the
jackpot. Yeah, that's true.
But okay. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's my day.
Okay. So my answer is, as often as it seems to be on the show, the much more boring answer.
Okay.
So one of the things that really, again, stresses me out about this is the idea that like, no matter how much, the people in my life matter to me and I love, like there's going to be times where I'm going to be burnt out on the events and actions of these days, right? And like, it's just going to cause me too much pain to just like literally, put my son down and just walk out of the house and go somewhere and then, just leave them. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, what the fuck? What's going on? Like,
Come back, Daddy.
And to have to deal with that every day would be a nightmare. Yeah. So that to me, I'm like, I need to pick a specific day where I'm not beholden to anybody, where I'm not on anyone else's schedule, so that I don't have to worry about whatever I'm doing interfering with somebody on that level. And so like that I'm kind of like stress free in that way.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, doesn't exist unless I go back to a time when I was single.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So before my kids were born, a time where I was single, and like for some reason, I mean, because my memory is only so clear. Like, the further back in time I go, the less I can remember any specific day. But I do remember there was a time period, I think it would have been in 2019, where I was playing a lot of. There's a game called Dragon Age Inquisition. I was playing a lot of that game. Okay. I remember there being quite a few weekends where I really didn't have to do anything or go anywhere or I had no plans. I was just gaming all day and just relaxing on my weekend between my work weeks.
Yeah.
So I would pick one of those days.
Oh, okay.
I would just
because then you could literally go out and do anything else you want.
Anything at all with no repercussions. The only limitation is how far can I get in 24 hours.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And so one of the things that would suck is like if I were to try and practice a craft, right? Like writing, right? If I'm writing a story, can't do that because everything I do gets reset, right? So there's no physical copy of anything I've written.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
I can work on my music, but everything I do has to be held in my head, which is fine because that's kind of how I do it anyways. I was thinking about how like working out probably wouldn't work out very well because my muscles would probably reset. Yeah, whenever. Like, dang, I'm not getting no gains.
That would be nuts. Yeah, but on the opposite, you could eat whatever the hell you want.
That's true. That's very true. And again, money isn't an object because it doesn't matter. Like as long as I have a credit card, like I can afford most things that I would want to possibly do.
Until Cronus is like, motherfucker.
Exactly. But yeah, I would probably spend those days like reading, going places, going to the beach, just trying to find inner peace and learn as much as I can since I got unlimited time, and probably just catch up on sleep, man. I'd probably sleep a lot. Like the first week of this, I'm sleeping 14 hours a day, 7 days straight.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm just going to be knocked the fuck out. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I know. For you.
And I'm beholden to nobody.
Wait, did we not? Wait, I just think about it. Did we not change it to where at any moment Kronos could snap his fingers, right? And then now you're stuck from that point forward going on? Or did we say that?
From that point forward, yeah.
So from that point forward, if you didn't have, Michelle or Liam, so would you just try to navigate now from that point? Because you said you would go to
I would imagine that you would jump back to your own time, and but that day played out differently.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, obviously, there probably would be some sort of butterfly effect that I'm unaware of, but, there's nothing you could do.
Yeah,
you're being forced by God to pick a fucking day, so you pick a fucking day.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and I think Bill Murray and Groundhog, it's Groundhog Day, not Groundhog Day. Yeah, it's
Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day. There's
Groundhog
no S.
Day. Yeah,
There's no
Groundhog
S in
Day.
it. Groundhog Day. That's kind of what he ends up doing. He ends up learning a bunch of skills and stuff because he's got all the time in the world.
Oh yeah, that would be very useful.
And there would be a lot of boons to this curse, if you will, that definitely play to me, because like I always want more time for sleep for whatever it is that I want, but I would probably very much miss my family. Knowing that like when it's over, I won't have missed any time with them. At least there's some solace in that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I pick. I would pick a day which I was beholden to nobody.
That's a good idea.
And that way I can spend it doing whatever I want. And whether that's like an activity, relaxing, or going and seeing someone who's important to me, just dropping in on them,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the safest bet, at least for me.
Let me ask you this. So I know because of the fact that you just don't know when Cronus is going to snap his fingers.
Right.
But do you think you would ever try to do something that's just so out there? You know what I mean? Like, because I just thought about this when you were talking about how like, working out wouldn't be a good idea. And then I said, but now you could eat whatever you want. Like, would you try any drugs now? Like, because then at least the next day, hopefully, if he didn't snap his fingers, you would just wake back up without any
probably not, because
like,
there's a part of me that's really cautious of like, I don't want to do something drastic and then I have to live with that the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I was just thinking too, like, even though I put this in the parameters about like, if you die, you know what I mean? The day will just restart.
Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm jumping off a building.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't think I could still do that. Like,
no, definitely not.
That would be
absolutely not.
I will. I don't even think about it right now. Just gets like, I don't know, I guess goosebumps of whatever. I
you get chills.
That. Yeah. But, I know that there would probably be some things that I may try. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they would be, but I know I would have that curiosity side of me would get the better of me. And then I would just try to do something I would never, ever do. I know that.
Right.
But then, like, I know I would have that second thought in my head, like, what if this is the time when I do this and Cronus is like,
right.
It's like, God dang it,
Yeah, but, it could happen.
Yeah, that's true. I really am kind of interested in knowing what our listeners what day they would pick out of their past. Because I'm sure a lot of people probably have, way more interesting things that has happened to them in their lifetime that they may want to revisit and get to do whatever they want to do for that time, But dude, could you imagine? The podcast you have just heard are the imaginings from the highly evolved minds of the extra-dimensional beings, Will and Tom. It has been translated into a format more easily understood by the human mind. Interpret it as you will. Should you find yourself seeking more answers to life's most intriguing mysteries, you can show your support by becoming a Patreon member at patreon.com/dude-could-you-imagine. You can also leave an Apple Podcast review. You can subscribe to us on Instagram at dude_could-you-imagine, on Twitter at DCYimagine, and on our YouTube channel, where you can leave a like and a comment. We can also be reached through our email, dudecouldyoimagine@gmail.com. We leave you now so that you may gather your thoughts until we meet again to ponder the meaning of the cosmos and ask, dude, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I wonder, you know what? And I know one of these I know one of the days that I'll go through, I would try that and probably win the most money like anyone has ever seen win, and the casino would probably think I'm cheating,
right?
And throw me out or something.
Oh yeah, definitely banned for life. Banned for life for sure.
That would suck.